tour canceled. However, he will be back in Chicago next year. Hello.
You already touched on this a little bit, but is there a mentor or elder in your life you'd like to honor or give thanks to?
I work with this guy named Philip Moffitt, who is both a meditation teacher and also a retired entrepreneur. He was the editor-in-chief and publisher of Esquire magazine at its heyday, and sort of owned this whole publishing empire, and then realized one day he achieved this level of success that he had been aiming for a long time, and he got there, and the day that he opened his bank account and he realized the circulation numbers had reached a certain pinnacle that he had been gunning for, and he had this moment of like, yeah, I did it, and then he realized, and I feel totally unfulfilled, was in a board meeting, and he just got up from the board meeting and walked down the hall and picked up a phone and called an investment banker and said, I'd like to sell the company. Because he realized, oh, I'm not actually going to be fulfilled doing this work. And then he became like a very devoted meditator. And so I learned both meditation and how to function in the world. And we help you with everything from business problems to relationship issues. And I love him very much, and he's sort of like a father figure and a mentor to me. That has been a very rewarding relationship in my life. But there's also been other older figures in my life who had a profound impact on me. There was a guy when I was a kid. I was delivering, I had paper route, and I was delivering papers with my brother. And I was, I think, 11 years old, and he was 9. And I knocked on the door of this big house to collect the money for the week's papers, and the old man came to the door because he was supposed to have left the money in an envelope, and he didn't. So I was like, "This is the shakedown." And I was like, you owe us some money. And he took in me and my brother. We saw, I guess, from what we were wearing, you could tell that we were pretty poor. And he had run this little shop back in the 1960s for boys whose fathers had been killed in the war, in World War II, and taught them how to do some woodworking and taught them a little Chinese, but in a sense served as just a mentor and a father figure to them. And then he had stopped and started a radio station and done a whole career, and he saw me and my brother now 25 years later, and he was like, oh God, I think I have to do this again. So for the next several years, me and my brother spent like any time we could in the little shop above his garage, and he would teach us what he could about, circuitry and woodworking, and he would take us out to eat, and just served as a father figure to us. And it was, we didn't even realize the gift that we were getting until later on, but at the time it was transformative.
Good. I'm Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
I'm from Panama, the country of Panama.
Of course.
Florida.
I forgot there was Panama, Florida, right?
Yeah. This is my first convention.
How is it living up to your expectations?
So far, it's been above my expectations.
Because your expectations were so low. Did you come here from Florida? Such an idiot, we just had this conversation. Did you come here from Panama?
For this.
Did you really?
Yes.
Aren't you afraid to travel to the United States? All right, well, good for you. I'm glad that you made the trip.
I'm afraid you might take my canal away, but...
They might take your canal away. We're like, we're going to take your canal. And we're going to put it in Florida.
Yeah, my question is, have you ever heard
Yes, I have. Have I heard myself in another language in the show? So they do dubbing still. Do they dub me in Spanish?
I watch it sometimes in Spanish just to laugh.
So I went to conventions all over the world, and early on I met the guy who dubs. So they do this thing with dubbing where they try to find a voiceover actor that sounds like you, and then they use that same voiceover actor for all of your stuff on whatever TV show you're on. They go back to the same person so that there's consistency in the dubbing. So in Spain, for instance, I met my voiceover dubber who had actually started, like the first time he got connected with me as like assigned to the Misha assignment was when I did an episode of Charmed. I was 24 and I was a late bloomer. I don't think my voice had changed yet. So I was like, oh, they were like, you want to meet the guy that dubs you as Castiel? And I'm like, hey, Aspa. He's like, hey, Aspa. And the same thing happened to me in Brazil with Portuguese. It was like, that's the guy that's doing my voice? Holy shit. There are a lot of women that they could have gotten to do the role and make it sound more like Castiel. Yeah, so it's good in Panama. It's
Spanish.
Yeah, well, I know what they speak in Panama. I've been to Florida. Is it like Latin American? Like, where is that dubber from? It's not the same Spanish dubber, is it?
No, it's a special Latin American.
Latin American Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or you don't say that like that.
Exactly.
Right. So what does it sound like?
Like that.
Amazing. Well, glad to hear it.
That's why I watch it in English.
How long are you here for?
Till Monday.
Did you get here early? Did you have some time, or was it?
Thursday night, just for this.
You've been to the U.S. before?
Yeah.
Okay.
A few times.
Okay. Well, we're deeply honored that you would travel all this way and risk your life crossing the U.S. border.
Let's cross fingers. I brought you a souvenir, actually. I'll give it to you later if I may.
Oh, I can't wait to. What is the souvenir?
A shot glass.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
My name is Celeste, and
Hi, nice to meet you.
I was wondering what your favorite silly or made up word is. I think it was snickerdoodle yesterday, but I got yelled at because it sounds like a real word. But
It's what?
it is a real word.
Unfortunately, it is a real word. It sounds like a fake word, but it's a real word. God, that's such a good question. There are so many that are coming to mind, of course. My son had a lot of weirdly, when he was just learning to speak, he had a lot of weird words that he said. He would always say stinky codio. What the fuck is that? And when my daughter came out and he was 2, we were like, Wes, this is your new sister, Mason. And he said, sockeye. And then he just called her sockeye for the next 3 years. Until we started calling her sockeye too. We're like, I guess that's her name. Our power is to change it. That is also a real word though. I had this dream. We had I built this little turtle pond in our backyard, and we had a couple of turtles, and then somebody found a red-eared slider wandering around on the street. And they brought it over because they knew that we had turtles, and they're like, is this your turtle? And I said, no, my turtle's right there. And they're like, well, will you take the turtle? Because it's been wandering around the street, it's gonna get run over. This is in, like, Hollywood, where turtles don't wander around the street. So we took the turtle in, and it was, we had found it, they had found it on Sierra Bonita, the street Sierra Bonita, so they said we named it Sierra Bonita. And then that night, I had a dream, and in the dream, I was repeating, I'm terrible with names. Also, you know how people say, I never forget a face? I always forget a face. But I was, in my dream, repeating to myself over and over again, Misha, the turtle's name is Dry Deluxe Allowed. Repeat it back to me. And I made myself repeat the name back to myself over and over again until when I woke up in the morning, I was like, it's a message from God. It's the turtle's Dry Deluxe Allowed. So that became the turtle's name. And then, like 5 years later, when we were filming in Vancouver, I bought a boat, because there's like water all over the place, and I thought it'd be great to have a boat. And so I got a boat, and and the boat's name, it was a used boat, the boat on the back of it had the name of the boat written on it, which was Devon 2. And I was like, that's a terrible name. I'll rename it Dry Deluxe Allowed. Not thinking that every time you come into a harbor, you have to get on the radio and you have to pronounce yourself with the name of your boat. So and everybody's like, you know, they're coming in, they see boats, and they're all like Sea Breeze, you know, like that. The names are all just like these sweet, you know, seafaring terms. And I would come in and be like, hey, this is it's Dry Deluxe Allowed. What, sir? Can you say it again? It's Dry Deluxe Allowed is the name of the boat. Sorry, can you spell that? No. I did regret that particular thing. Anyway, thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jessie.
Hi, Jesse.
I was wondering if there was any really cool things that fans have done for you or in your honor that really stuck with you.
I always feel like it's wonderful when I see, for instance, my face tattooed on someone's inner thigh. Always feels like a very special gift. Do you mind if I'm a little crass for a moment? I have wondered, like, now when someone is going down on you, they turn their head slightly. Does that not kill the vibe? Who's that guy? Why is he watching me? Maybe they're into that sort of thing. Anyway, thank you for that question.
I'm just recovering from that. So, I think you have a really strong poetic voice, and I was wondering if there are poets who really inspire you, you really enjoy reading, and if you're still writing.
I am still writing, not a lot, but there's a trickle of things that come out of me. It's like, I'm like whoops. to write. I have to parse my words very carefully. There are a few poets that I really love. I love Billy Collins. I love Mary Oliver. I also like some of these, like, you know, ancient mystic poets like Rumi and Hafiz. That you read these poems that are written, you know, in the 1400s. Actually, no. I think they wrote them even before then. Somebody knows. That doesn't. And they're like totally clever and funny and relevant today, kind of amazing. So I love things that make you realize just how timeless the human experience is.
The connection.
But I am writing. And sometimes I write in little spurts. And sometimes it feels like it's really hard. But eventually I'll get there, and it's like release it onto the page. And usually it's quite satisfying. But there are some times when I'm like, ugh, that was actually kind of gross. This really is the Sebastian Roche experience. Hi.
I'm Bridget, and my question is, what's the weirdest gift you've ever gotten from a fan?
The weirdest gift?
Yeah.
I don't know, that's a great question. I had I don't know. There have been so many to choose from. I was just in South Africa, and a fan brought me a paper bag, and it was the outside of the bag had soaked through with oil, but it was like a small paper bag, but grease stains issuing forth, and I was like, oh, and then there was a strong sort of scent that came off of it, and they're like, this is a real specialty, this is a real treat. And I opened it, and it was a bag of meat for me. And, of course, I'm like such an adventurous spirit that I was like, I should probably eat some of that. And then I thought, no, I have said a lot of things that Putin doesn't like. If I were Putin, I would just find a fan to give Misha a pumpkin. And have him be done with me, right? So I was like, I'm not going to eat that. And then some time went by. I was at the autograph table and I was signing, and then somebody, and then I saw the bag of meat, and I was like, oh, I should try it. And so I did. It was not something to be. So that was a strange thing. I was at a convention here. I don't remember what city I was in, but it was a domestic convention. And someone came up and they were like, "Hey, I have something for you, but I also want to pose with it in the picture." And it was adorable. It was this little squirrel Castiel. That's so sweet. And it was not. It was just a trench coat. The rest of the body was not. And then I was holding it, and I had this she's like, yeah, I found it on the street in front of my house. The photo was like this. So that was sweet. It actually inspired me. that particular experience. So it wasn't too long after that our friends, my kids' best friends, was a son and a daughter that were the same age as my two kids. They were going out of town, and they had a hamster named Rudy, and they were like, "Can you take care of Rudy? And don't worry, Rudy doesn't run around a lot during the day. He's mostly nocturnal." And so then I actually go to a convention, and then I do a little bit of filming, and I talked to my wife and kids on the phone, and they were like, "Rudy really is nocturnal. He's been sleeping all day, every day." And I got home, and I was like, "What's that smell?" And then in Rudy's cage, and Rudy is on his back, rigor his legs up into the air, like no animal ever sleeps, like so immediately obvious, not only by the smell, but by the pose that it's dead. And I was like, that's how long has Rudy been like this? And it had been almost a week. And but they're coming back. You know, these two young kids, like it's like a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old, they're coming back to collect their pet in a few days. And so I was like, you know, of course, the first thing that goes through your head, like, hamster, I don't know how hard gonna be, or like, I'm not gonna know. And then I thought, no, I'll do one better. So I took Rudy to a taxidermist. And I mounted it on this little, pedestal in like a grizzly bear, like taxidermy grizzly, with its like nasty little teeth exposed, and its little paws like this, as if it was like this fearsome beast. And then I printed a little placard on the bottom that said, Rudy, like a shooting star, Rudy burned bright, but was gone in a flash. And then I brought it over to their house before they got home, and I hid it on the shelf. Because I'm a sick fuck. And of course, it was the 7-year-old who found it. Such a dick. And, but now, so because it was I didn't know this before. I'm sure you know, but I didn't know. You can't do a rush job on taxidermy because, like, you have to treat the hide and stuff in such a way that it actually preserves. So Rudy, they still have it. This is now like 7 years later. But Rudy is slowly disintegrating, and it's close to this, like patches of fur falling off, and it's like zombie Rudy now. But it still occupies a proud position on their mantle, but they have to occasionally sweep away around Rudy because the debris is falling. Anyway, that wasn't what you asked. But I thought it was an important story to share. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, so my name is Nadia.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so the first time I met you, I was a freshman in high school, and now I'm going to be, I am a senior right now, so I'm doing all the college application stuff. So I was like,
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I was wondering if you had any like advice for like incoming college students or college students or just like becoming an adult in general. Also, like I know you got into the University of Chicago, and that's like a lot of my friends do school, so I think that's pretty cool.
Are you applying at University of Chicago?
Probably not. I heard that the environment is like really like toxic. Like it's just like work all day and like.
That really hurts my feelings. Anybody here go to University of Chicago? Holy shit, hardly anyone. That's because the people who go to University of Chicago don't do fun things. When I was at University of Chicago, they didn't even have a student center. There was a social life occurred in the basement of the Regenstein Library. That's where people went to hang out, and had no windows. It was just this sort of fluorescent lighting basement of a library. And I was like, that's where we went to have fun. And it was on the south side of Chicago. Back then, it was like really this little island with there was like nowhere to go because it was just really like gangland right outside of the campus. So everybody was just sort of cloistered there, never went out and had any fun doing anything fun at all. I didn't even get drunk in college. Like, what a waste. And when we were there, a group at Harvard commissioned a study of the top 300 universities in the country. And they ranked them according to all sorts of different criteria. And one of them was social life. Like, what's the social life like at this school? And we were quite proud to rank 300 out of 300. 299 was the Naval Academy, which was more fun than the University of Chicago. So, my advice is don't go to the University of Chicago. No, actually, ironically, quite glad that I went there. And it was just a time. It was a time to read books for 4 years, and that's what we did. And that was a wonderful college experience for me. I wish that I had a chance to actually explore the arts, which they really didn't have at the University of Chicago, so probably wasn't the right school for me. But I do have one piece of advice for if you seem smart. I would say your undergraduate experience is an opportunity to just like get a broad breadth of knowledge and understanding of the world, develop your critical thinking skills. It's maybe not as valuable, I think, to become a specialist in those years. Just try to learn as much as you can about the broader world, and then go get an advanced degree to study something in more specificity. But most specialized jobs are going to be taken by AI anyway. So, you should probably learn like some of the skills that you know are going to be useful, like how to make a weapon from a tree limb. And best places to store dry goods. And how to purify water. And how to clean a weapon. Those kind of things.
Yeah, no, my dream school right now is like Dartmouth, which is an Ivy League, so it's pretty much a reach, but I'm like working towards it. And I do want to major in like political science or government, so you're like a really inspiration for me.
Yes, those are good majors, but again, I would maybe think about bunker building as an option. Minor in bunker construction.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi.
If you could be any other character on the show, who would you pick and why?
If I could be
A different character on Supernatural, who would you pick and why?
I think I would probably pick Baby. Because it would be so much easier to learn my dialogue. Although then again, both Sam and Dean would always be trying to get inside me, so maybe... I don't know, I'll have to think on that. Thank you.
My name is Candace. I wondered what your favorite version of Castiel was.
Well, I have a soft spot in my heart for Castiel, good old Castiel, just because I got to know that character so well. But I had the most fun playing Lucifer Cass. I think that's because that particular version of Castiel just had bore the most similarities to my actual personality. Thank you. Hey! Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. I guess, yeah.
That's a gift.
Yeah.
Me unbuttoning your shirt.
Yeah.
That was my goal.
Give it.
Give it. Wow, buddy. I mean, jeez.
You're ripped.
You're ripped.
No, I mean, the shirt is ripped.
I gotta order the extra small. That really.
No, you really don't. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When you go to I went for a run on the Navy Pier, and it's a great story.